a $2.3 billion nuclear power plant, designed around a 621 megawatt reactor, encased in a meter of solid concrete, stands fully constructed, but it has never generated a single watt of electricity. For more than 4 decades, this massive structure has slept, its core empty and its turbines silent. All of this because of 4,000 construction defects and a catastrophic hidden danger beneath its foundations. It was built on an earthquake fault line. This isn't just one poor decision. Around the world, enormous structures exist as monuments to monumental miscalculations. These are the most useless megaprojects on Earth. From 20-lane highways with no traffic to artificial islands sinking back into the sea, how do projects costing billions of dollars go so catastrophically wrong? Our story begins in the Philippines in 1973, during a global oil crisis. With fuel prices soaring, the nation sought energy independence. The government, led by Ferdinand Marcos, pursued a high-tech solution: nuclear power. The plan was to build a state-of-the-art facility that could supply a significant portion of Luzon, the country's main island. The engineering behind the Bataan nuclear power plant looked impressive on paper. At its core was a 621 megawatt pressurized water reactor, or PWR. The concept was straightforward. Inside the reactor core, nuclear fission splits atoms to produce enormous amounts of heat. That heat boils water, creating high-pressure steam that spins a massive turbine, which drives a generator to produce electricity. To contain this energy safely, the reactor was surrounded by multiple protective layers. A steel containment vessel over 2.5 centimeters thick was encased in a meter-thick concrete wall. Between these layers, a vacuum space was designed to capture and contain any potential leaks before they could escape. Construction began in 1976, but the project was plagued from the start. The initial budget of around $500 million US quickly ballooned, eventually exceeding $2.3 billion, a staggering cost for a single reactor. But financial troubles hit a far deadlier issue. Following the 1,979 Three Mile Island accident in the United States, a safety inquiry revealed more than 4,000 defects in the plant's construction, from faulty welding to substandard cabling and piping. Even worse, engineers had built this nuclear facility just a few kilometers from Mount Naypyidaw, a potentially active volcano, and dangerously close to a major geological fault. The choice of location was a catastrophic error, a ticking time bomb embedded in the very foundations. By the time the plant was completed in 1984, the world had changed. In 1986, the Chernobyl disaster triggered global fear of nuclear power. That same year, the Marcos regime was overthrown. Facing a mountain of debt for a plant with thousands of defects on a fault line, the new government decided to mothball it permanently. The Philippines finished paying off the $2.3 billion loan in 2007, more than 30 years after construction began. Today, the plant sits in a state of preserved decay, costing millions each year to maintain a silent monument to a multi-billion-dollar miscalculation. Debates about revival continue, but the risks of its flawed construction and dangerous location remain. If you were in charge, would you risk turning it on, or leave it as a permanent testament to a billion-dollar mistake? But what happens when the fatal flaw isn't hidden beneath the ground, but in plain sight? In 2005, the government of Myanmar undertook an extraordinary project in near-total secrecy, constructing a completely new capital city, Naypyidaw, in the country's interior. The scale was almost unimaginable. Covering over 7,000 square kilometers, the new city is roughly 4 times the size of London. Yet this city was not designed to grow organically. It was meticulously engineered for a specific purpose, creating one of the strangest urban environments on Earth. The most infamous feature of Naypyidaw is its road network. Leading to the colossal Parliament building is Yaza Hatani Road, a highway that in its widest sections has 20 lanes, 10 inches each direction. Using a standard lane width of 3.6 meters, the paved surface alone is more than 70 meters wide, not counting shoulders and medians. It's rumored that this scale was intended to allow military aircraft to land in emergencies. The obsession with size extends to the city's layout. Naypyidaw is not cohesive, but a collection of strictly segregated zones, a government ministry area, a hotel district, and residential blocks color-coded by employee type. The city was designed entirely for cars. Distances are too vast to walk, with almost no pedestrian infrastructure. The result is eerie emptiness. Though built for a huge population, only around 1 million residents live there, with a population density of roughly 190 people per km squared. The 20-lane highways are often empty. Government buildings stand silent, and malls and hotels are mostly deserted. The cost of this ghost city remains a state secret, but estimates place it between $4 and $5 billion US, a monumental drain on a developing nation. Its oversized infrastructure has become a liability. In March 2025, a major earthquake caused over $1 billion in damage to Naypyidaw alone, ripping giant fissures into the empty roads. It remains a hollow capital, proof of what happens when grandiosity overtakes practicality. Building a city no one wants is one thing, but what about building a gateway to the world so inconvenient that travelers ignore it entirely? In the 1,960 seconds, Montreal was Canada's commercial and cultural hub. Its airport, Dorval, was booming, projected to be overwhelmed by the mid-1,970 seconds. Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau's government decided to go big, build a futuristic airport to serve Montreal, and act as North America's primary gateway. Thus was born Montreal Mirabel International Airport. The project aimed for unmatched scale: 39,660 hectares of land larger than Montreal itself, planned for 6 runways, 6 terminals, and an automated people mover system. The first phase, 2 runways and a terminal, opened in 1975, in time for the 1976 Summer Olympics. Designed for 50 million passengers per year, it was the world's largest airport by land area. Yet the location was remote, 39 kilometers northwest of downtown Montreal. A promised high-speed rail link was never built, leaving travelers with a 50-60 minute bus or car ride compared to 20 minutes from Dorval. Technological change also doomed Mirabel. Plans were drawn when long flights often needed refueling stops. By opening, new jets could fly non-stop across the Atlantic, bypassing Montreal. The final flaw: splitting traffic between airports. International flights were forced to Mirabel, while domestic flights remained at Dorval. Transfers required luggage retrieval and long bus rides. Passengers and airlines chose Toronto instead. Mirabel was a failure. Traffic peaked under 3 million per year. By 1997, international flights returned to Dorval. The last passenger flight left in 2004. The terminal became a movie set and go-kart track before demolition in 2016. The site now serves cargo flights, flight schools, and an Airbus A220 assembly plant. Next is a project frozen in time, Turkey's Wonderland Eurasia, or Anchor Park. Opened March 2019 inches Ankara as Europe's largest theme park, it sprawled 1.3 million meters squared with 17 roller coasters and over 2,100 rides. A fountain shot water 120 meters high with a 5 kilometers internal rail system. Construction cost exceeded $800 million US. 2 days after opening, the park collapsed. Rides broke mid-ride, restrooms were filthy, and unfinished attractions remained under construction. Rides installed years earlier deteriorated from exposure. Attendance plummeted, and revenue couldn't cover staff or electricity. By February 2020, less than a year after opening, Wonderland Eurasia shut permanently. Giant dinosaurs decay, coasters rust, and thieves strip the park of materials. The city now plans to return the land to green space. Finally, what if a billion-dollar dream slowly sinks back into the sea? In 2003, Dubai announced the world islands, an archipelago of around 300 artificial islands shaped like a world map. Dredgers moved 321 million meters cubed of sand, and 386 million tons of rock formed a protective breakwater. GPS-guided shaping ensured accuracy. But nature and finance intervened. The 2008 financial crisis halted construction. Without ongoing maintenance, sand eroded and channels silted up. Worse, no infrastructure was installed, no power, water, or sewage, making development expensive and difficult. Today, a few resorts like the heart of Europe operate, but most islands remain empty, slowly reclaimed by the sea. a fractured, incomplete vision of the world. Which of these projects do you think wasted the most money? Let us know in the comments. For more deep dives into the world's most incredible engineering, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video.